It's about 7:30 in the morning. We're in the parking lot for the Mitchell Lake trailhead. There are two trails going up from here. One goes up to Mount Audubon, which is about 4,000 meters, and the other one goes up to Blue Lake, which is about 3.5. We've done them both before. We're going to go up to Mitchell Lake today. It's pretty windy, but the first part's in the trees, so that'll help, and then we'll see how it goes after that. Here's an overview of the route. We're going to walk up this glaciated valley. The first lake we come to is the green one, which is Lake Mitchell, and then at the head of the valley is Blue Lake, and above it there's actually another smaller lake, Little Blue Lake. So we're getting out of the trees. The moraine's just above us to my right up here, and we can see more of Audubon up there. We're going to the top of the moraine now, and the pyramid above us, that one there, is Mount Toll. The snow was melting fast. It's mid-July here. This snow patch is just before you get to the lake, and as you approach, on the left is Mount Pawnee, which is all rock, and here once again is the granite pyramid of Mount Toll, named after one of the early managers of Rocky Mountain National Park, I believe. And coming round further, we see Mount Paiute, which doesn't look as impressive from this angle as it does from the top of Audubon. And then the bulk of Audubon itself. You can't see the summit of Audubon, of course, because it's a convex slope, but you can get some idea of how big it is. There's still ice on the lake, icebergs. You can see the ice underneath the water, and it was still pretty windy. There's a family arrived next to us, two little girls who look rather tired, and the parents. And once they'd gone, the clean-up crew arrived. Well, it wasn't really a crew, just one guy. Here he is enjoying a cracker or something the girls had dropped. And as I said, it was still windy, so time to go down. This is Mount Audubon as viewed from Brainerd Lake. The final boulder field on Audubon is quite steep, steeper than it looks in this picture, and goes up a few hundred metres. I've taken to going up on the left and coming down on the right. It seems to be the best way. This is Paiute, which looks more impressive from here, I think. And this is the Navajo Apache cluster of peaks to the south, and to the north we're looking towards Rocky Mountain National Park. This was Jane's first 4,000 metre peak, first one she'd walked up at least. I'm at the Rainbow Lakes trailhead, waiting for my friend Larry. The Rainbow Lakes are actually to my left, to the west, and we're not going towards those today. We're going up the Arapaho Glacier trail, which follows a broad ridge which is in front of me at the moment, runs east-west towards the mountains. On the far side of that ridge are a set of lakes which supply water to the cities on the plains, so access to those lakes is restricted to avoid them getting polluted. So we're just going to go up the ridge as far as we want before we turn around, take some video of the peaks, and hopefully that'll go well. Last time I did this, my companion was suffering from the altitude, so we didn't get very far, but I think today we'll get a little further, hopefully get some good shots of the peaks. Initially the trail wanders around the campground, and then you can choose either to go towards the Rainbow Lakes or up the Arapaho Glacier trail. It's about a couple of miles through the trees, I think. It's not too steep, but it's pretty constant, and after a while wire fencing appears on the right to stop you going towards those lakes that I mentioned. Yeah, we've got to tree line. It's really opened up on the left here, looking back down to where we came, towards the Rainbow Lakes, I suppose. And that way in the distance is Mount Evans. Here are the lakes that we're not allowed to access. That's Silver Lake on the right and Island Lake on the left. Those seem to be the two largest ones. And then there are more further up the valley. They've built small dams to make the natural lakes deeper, I believe. And above the lakes is the bulk of Mount Albion. And then left of that we can see Arapaho and Navajo, those two peaks. And going further left is the Shawi, the top of that ridge, I think. And then north Arapaho, the dominant peak, and south Arapaho, and in between the Glacier in the coombe between north and south Arapaho. Larry is ahead, going up the trail. He went up to Old Baldy, which is the bare mountain just left of South Arapaho. It's almost the same height, actually. He was hoping to get some pictures of the glacier, but you can't see it from there. You can only see towards the south. This is Arapaho again, and now you can see Kiowa behind Albion. Kiowa is actually higher than Albion, And further right, our old friend Audubon appearing above the Niwot Ridge. Here are some pictures I took while Larry was on his excursion up to Old Baldy, Arikari and Navajo here, the Upper Lakes, North Arapaho, with I think it's the Shawa to the right, and here are the Rainbow Lakes. I'm in the Long Lake Trailhead parking lot. The plan today was to, still is actually, to go towards the Navajo Peak. We've seen this before. You probably realise that the main spine of the Indian Peaks goes north-south with a load of 4,000 metre peaks along that ridge, and we've been exploring the valleys to the east, valleys and ridges to the east, and we've seen Navajo from Audubon looking south, and we've seen Navajo from the Arapaho Glacier Trail looking north, and from this trailhead you can head west straight towards Navajo. It goes past Long Lake, the trail's wooded past Long Lake, and then it opens out as it gets to Lake Isabelle. And normally, of course, it's sunny and there are lots of flowers and even hummingbirds, but today it's very overcast. In fact, it's trying to rain at the moment, but I think I might still go at least as far as Lake Isabelle and see what it's like. It may brighten up, you never know. This is a stream coming out of Long Lake, and we've got a little bit of sunshine up on the mountains, and the snow to the right of Navajo there, it's kind of glowing at the moment, so that's good. It's rained quite a lot recently. There's a lot of there's puddles on the trails, on this trail. The reason I decided to come despite the weather not being grey is I'd already booked the time slot to get into the Long Lake parking lot. These days you have to book into Long Lake and Mitchell Lake trailheads. There's a time entry system. So having booked it, I decided to come, and I'm glad I did. It looks like we can avoid this puddle on the left. I think I'll do the stepping stones. Whee! Almost blew it. So this is the first trail junction. The trail to the left goes around Long Lake, takes you over to the far side of Long Lake, and the trail to the right is the one we want, going up to Isabelle. Here's a stream coming down from Lake Isabelle, and the bulk behind the trees is Mount Shoshone. That's Shoshone on the right and Apache on the left. Here's the moraine for Lake Isabelle, with Niwot Ridge in the background, of course. I better be careful across here, it's slippery. This is the top of the Niwot Ridge, and then the pointed peak of Navajo with the snow on the right. There's a pinnacle coming out of that snow which has some kind of lewd name which I forget, perhaps fortunately. And then here's the saddle shape of Apache. I'm not quite sure which is the highest point, the official summit of Apache. And then further right is Shoshone, which is closer to us. You can't see the summit from this angle. All the time I was at Isabelle, the lake was in shadow and the peaks were in sunshine, which of course worked out well from the photographic point of view. Here the clouds are just gently moving across. So I hope you enjoyed this video, which is comprised of 3 hikes in the Indian Peaks. Thanks for watching.